I'd like to call the April 12th, 2023 Town Board meeting to order. Start with a pledge of allegiance. Turn your mics on.
Oh.
Can we have a motion to approve the March 8th meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Treasurer's report.
All right, so for March 2023, our beginning balance on the cash flow statement was $138,698, less expenses of $6,692, for a balance of $132,006. And then we had revenue additions of $4,371, for an ending balance of $136,378. The balance of our assets were $584,106. And then just a couple commentaries on our year-over-year expenses. Our expenses were down nearly $12,000, and this was really due to a difference in the road salt. We paid for that in March of 2022, but did not pay for it in March of 2023, so just a timing item there. And then on the revenue side, fairly quiet, but up about $2,000, and this was due to two different items, a little bit higher dividend in our 4M account by $525, and then an additional cell tower payment due to timing that we got two of those in March of this year for about $1,500. And as far as our budget, kind of down at the bottom there, year-to-date spend is $30,154, and then year-to-date collected is $59,410 for a year-to-date surplus right now of $29,256. Any questions?
I don't have any. Thank you, Keisha.
Yep, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Time to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion to pay bills 55 through 77. I think that's it, yep. For a grand total of $16,711.27.
I'll second that.
All
Oh,
in-
hang on. Pam?
If you're looking at the totals on there and they aren't matching up, they're not, no. You have an old one, we had two additional items right before I got here. The supervisors have the correct, if anybody wants the correct one, the correct amount, let me know. Okay, all right,
The correct one's on the screen, correct?
that's the correct
Yep.
one, yes.
Yep, it was just the last two items appear on the U.S. Treasury for our Q1 payroll tax items that we added right at the end.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have a planning commission report?
Over there.
Here.
Over there. Yeah, keep sharpening this, huh? So I feel like I'm in high school talking against a wall. No, that's what I used to get. Good afternoon. A couple of the supervisors were there. We had a dynamic meeting on the planning commission. The primary issue that we talked through is the proposed noise ordinance, which is on your business item to discuss. We actually, thanks to Supervisor Holcim, who actually got his laptop out and said, we're gonna edit this right now, make sure that we're gonna have a finished product, instead of, as he said, kicking it down the road one more month. We were able to, I think, discuss through all the input that the community gave, and also just wrestle down what is somewhat of a similar policy ordinance that we've got from Cottage Grove. It's my understanding.
Yep.
One of the discussion items we had, and just to, if anybody's got any better information, including the clerk, one of the standing items is that we run it by the sheriff's office, make sure it's enforceable. And that got done, and we received positive feedback on it. So What we're advancing and we unanimously approved was our proposed new noise ordinance, which we've been discussing back and forth for quite a while. I think it's balanced. I don't think it kind of serves anybody's full interest, but it's something we need for not just one situation, but perhaps many others. So, let me know if you've got any questions. That was the extent of our.
Okay. Thank you, Eduardo.
You might want to add that took an hour to do or so.
Yeah, thanks for staying late.
Actually, 90 minutes, 92 minutes, which is beyond our rules. We want to, we try to keep to just 1 hour worth of business because all of this is volunteer activity. You start dragging it too long, then folks kind of burn out. So, any questions? If not, that is it.
Is there
Yes,
a one level of noise during the day, or does it vary from night to day?
The details in your packet, you can actually see the noise ordinances on it. There are some variations between night and day and type of noise, night and day. And not all the times are identical, because there's certain noise that has kind of like 7 to 7, and some of it is 10 to 8. So I don't want to not do it justice and sustain any details, so I would urge you to just take a look at it. But yes, it does sort of contemplate the fact that nights should be quieter than days, and the certain activities even more restrained than that. By the way, and I should just make a point that this does not govern the noise generated by mined activity that's regulated under a different ordinance. That was a clarification that was introduced.
We'll be talking about that ordinance in a little bit anyway when we make a motion to pass it.
Correct, as part of your business item. No other questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. The next planning commission meeting is Monday, May 8th at 6:30. The next town board meeting is Wednesday, May 10th at 7. And tomorrow is at 6 o'clock is what do we call that?
Board of Equalization.
Board of Equalization. You can come here and bitch about your taxes.
Not your taxes, your valuation.
Your evaluation.
Make that distinction. People come in, my taxes are too high. This is solely about your valuation.
Yeah, my mistake. Sorry about that. And we are now to unfinished business, the noise ordinance.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we pass ordinance number 61 under noise.
I'll second,
Yep.
I'll second the motion.
Now we ask for comments.
Any comments?
I do have a comment. Is there not going to be a problem running like wood chippers? I got a loud wood chipper and I'm clearing buckthorn, and it's going to be an ongoing.
Well, during the day,
During the day,
you
it's
know,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, just on Geneva.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, as long as I do your yard.
No, it's pretty much set up to, the normal activities you do, the mowing, snow blowing, stuff like that is an appropriate use.
Does that say that in here?
I'd have to find it, yeah, it does, you know.
I mean, the way I read it, somebody can call us and say they don't like, I'm making too much noise.
It's a short-term thing that you'd be doing, so it wouldn't really,
It's a long term.
well, yeah, but you're not gonna run it for 8 hours a day for all summer long. Yeah. I got goats you could
2
grab.
hours a day for.
Bring in my goats, they're quiet. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
Yep.
Regarding the noise ordinance, it's true, isn't it, that residents with conditional use permits, they would be covered by the conditional use permit? I'm wondering about commercial equipment that runs all day long. You know, like backup beep, 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 beep.
So this would be like a minimum thing. If we have commercial CUPs and that stuff, when we approve, we could have special conditions underneath that to regulate.
Correct.
Yeah, if somebody's got a commercial beeper, you need them when you leave your house, but if it's at your house, we shouldn't really have those going on, yeah.
Yeah, the board could put any stipulations they wanted on these interim use permits or conditional use permits and stuff like that.
We can note, yeah, we'll note that, so that we do that for those properties.
And just for your information, that's our next thing to work on. We spent 1.5 years on this noise thing, so next is that. So in 2025, we'll have a meeting on that. Just kidding, we hope to get it done sooner than that. Hoping. Any other questions on that? This thing's been kicked down the road for what? How long? Over 1 year, maybe?
Yeah.
We've had some hurdles come up.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on unfinished business?
Well, we gotta vote on that.
Yeah. Okay,
Motion was made and seconded, we gotta
Yeah.
vote.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any other unfinished business? Well, that's Katie.
What?
What did you have?
I give you guys paperwork.
That'll be under new business, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I'll move it on,
Okay.
so Holcim petition.
So this will be, which
No, we're not even gonna do that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That was that thing, but we'll just move down here and then I guess we'll add that in at the end, right?
Yep, okay. Okay, new business, the Holcim petition for annexation, I think did you guys have anything to say about it? Did you?
No, I'm not prepared. Thank
Okay, yeah, we've run it to death, I think.
When's the meeting on that? 19th?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the 19th at Cottage Grove City Hall. They're
Seven PM.
they're having a public hearing as part of their council meeting. Whether they act on it or not would be up to them, or what they do. Okay, flood, she put my name on there. They're talking about these floods here and there. The way I look at it is, the 65 flood was the highest one. It didn't go over the first fill up there. Since then, they've raised that road up another couple feet, so you'd have to have a heck of a flood to go over that road. I know the last time, somebody had everybody in all nervous, and last I heard, I seen on the news, they predicted river to go up, I think, about 6 feet in St. Paul. Well, going up 6 feet in St. Paul kind of amounts to nothing down here. So we probably have nothing. The only residents we got that the flood affects are the ones down on 105th Street. And how do you guys get there when that road gets underwater? Don't you go through Holcim's property or something? I know Keith said go down the pipeline property.
So since we've been there in the last 5 years, we haven't had water actually on the road.
Okay.
It's been close to it, but it has not made it to the road. But from what I understand, Keith Peterson had requested access through basically the back trail, if that's correct, through the quarry's property to get up to the roadway, what would be 75.
That's what he told me one time. He said he had,
That's what I had heard.
yeah,
Of course, I wasn't part of that decision, but it was before my time.
okay.
But we've got use, I'm not afraid of
Okay.
water. Well, we're good.
Happy to work with you if you need something, get a hold of us.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
And if Keith gets stranded down there, so be it. Okay. That's all we got on that. Next one here is Pioneer Road. That's me too. Anybody didn't notice Pioneer Road's a mess?
The trail is, or the drive.
It's all washboarded.
Drive has got some potholes.
Well, what I did, I stopped at Rumpke's and got a price for, come and grade it and put 10 loads of
Yeah.
rock in there. Gotta find it.
We gotta do our road
Yeah.
review.
Well, we gotta make a motion to pay. Here we go. All right. All right. I'll make a motion. Here's what the price is. It's $3,930 to grade it and put 10 belly dumps load on there. 10 24-ton loads for $3,930. I'll make a motion, we approve this and send it to Rumpka, and they can do it when the road restrictions go off.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Could be just one quick observation, so thank you for doing that. At the time that it gets done, before you pay the bill, and one of you go take a look at it, sometimes it's done with interesting features, let's just call it that.
Dick had a good talk with them, so, yeah, we will approve, yeah, we should do that. Make sure it gets good crown and everything, yep.
Yeah, I can't gauge it, but I'm sure others can.
Yep.
Somebody can just take a look at it before paying the bill that you pay. Because sometimes it's like perfect, sometimes it's like what?
Well, they've only graded it once last year, and I think once the year before.
No, yeah, both times.
Yeah.
Last year was super late.
Noise hurt.
Really late. And one of the times was just not very.
I don't think it was late, because they did it when they hauled the rock in. We never had them back.
Maybe later.
Okay.
Wonder if that's when Billy maybe played around with it, who knows?
I kind of chewed them out when I was up there the other day. I said, this time put a crown on it so the water runs off. And then Joey Rumpke, he says, well, then the water don't run off, you don't call us back, and he kind of laughed. Yeah, I said I wanted a foot higher in the middle than the edge, you know, laughing at him.
Laugh if you don't pay the bill, so it's.
So,
they can check it out.
no, they're usually pretty good to work with. That's. What else we got? Anything
Well,
else?
we've got this citation summary. So this is for,
This ain't a confidential thing, is it, where we shouldn't be talking about it?
no. Why would it be confidential?
Well, could be. It's a court hearing for a person to show up in court.
It's public, it's public.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
On the internet, I mean.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's public information.
Yeah.
All right, if that's where you got it, then we're okay.
So Tucker Enders is, when was the court date? I can't see it on here.
That's on the second
April
page.
24th this year, coming up.
Okay. He's got a court date, April 24th, and this is,
Regarding the dog bite from 6/8/2022.
yeah, yeah. Because they were the responding police at that time.
As long as you brought that up, we did send our code enforcement officer back to Tucker's house and to Mo's house. And what did we get? He sent a letter to Tucker, I know, to clean the place up. I don't know if he did anything at Mo's or not.
We already got, and he went back out to Tucker's too.
I got a letter, notification where I regularly maintain a long driveway with 300 feet, so I dump gravel from the aggregate company off to the side so I don't block the driveway, and then I scoop it up with a machine and put it in the driveway, fill up potholes that occur every year. And where I dumped it, I cleaned up most of it, I left some. And if you ever use the machine, which you probably have to clean up or dump, gravel with a machine, you don't pick it all up without getting a lot of dirt, which you don't really want in your driveway.
Yeah.
So I've got some gravel left where I dumped it.
So the code guy was happy, is what you're saying?
No, he was assuming I'm building a driveway along the west side of the property, which isn't anything I'm trying to do.
Oh.
So it's just something he dreamed up.
Well, I don't know if we heard anything from him, Pam, on,
Other than, should I do this?
A letter came from the town hall.
Other than, the first letter, him letting us know he wrote a letter to Mr. Knoll, we haven't heard anything.
yeah, we haven't heard anything, so we ain't gonna worry about anything till we hear back from him. If you can make him happy, we're happy.
I think my daughter sent an email and responded to last week.
To him.
I think to the town board. She will. If she doesn't.
I'm sure she has the, maybe she doesn't write.
I'll check with her.
You have.
As long as we're questioning, yeah, how's the cleanup going? Because we told you in April,
Making good progress. In the words of a former president of the United States, it's phenomenal.
good, keep it up. Okay, thanks.
I have a question
Sure.
about that. On the notification that we got yesterday, it said that someone would be out to inspect, and I'm not sure if they're out to inspect the whole property, or if they're just out to see about this supposed road we're building, the driveway on the west side, on the 18th. And we had, of April.
Okay.
Monday, and we're not ready for that. When, at the last, or the meeting before last, we were told, May 10th, there would be the final inspection.
Okay.
So I think we have to clarify that somehow.
We never seen that. If Pam didn't get it, we don't, he might send you letters that we don't get.
We only just got one
Okay,
notification, and it was yesterday.
okay.
And it was about somebody thinking we're going to put a road in on the west end of our property. and we're not
Okay, just
doing
explain it to him, and if he's happy, we're happy. I mean, he's,
Well,
You
the
know.
response we were supposed to make to that letter was, I guess, on 18th of April.
mm-hmm,
It had nothing to do with the cleanup, that's May 10th.
okay.
that, as far as we know.
All right. Just deal with, what's his name?
Well, he won't respond to my email, I don't know if you have to authorize him.
No, no.
He won't respond.
You know what, when you send him an email, why don't you CC our clerk? Then there's no question about what went where, who sent what. Be better for everybody. Because when he sends you something, he usually sends it to Pam too, as far as I know.
He didn't send me anything directly, I got this notice from the town clerk. He bypasses me.
The return address was this building.
Was that just recently? Was that what,
Yesterday. Was in yesterday.
did he drop that in their mailbox maybe? Or did we send that by email?
It came through the mail. It was in an envelope right in the mailbox address.
No. I don't
Well,
think it
don't
was.
mail anything here.
Well, it was my daughter said it was an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the whole thing's ridiculous, because it's assumed the road is gonna be built, it's not.
Okay, just deal with him. Like I say, when you email him, email her. That way we get rid of this confusion of who did something, who didn't, who got what, where it went. It'll eliminate that stuff. Okay.
Well, I think we're good.
Anybody got anything else? Wow, it's quiet tonight.
Yeah. I'll
Either they're all mad or happy.
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.